What's happening, everybody? Roundtable Wednesday. Let's go. Let's go. Everybody on camera. Let's boogie. Mr. McCann, what's happening, bud? Mr. Carmichael, what's happening? Unit 10, what's going on?
Let's go.
Before we jump in, guys, I know people pop in here. Check this out. It's pretty fun.
Dylan took you seriously. You said, let's go, and he left.
Check this out.
That's fair game. That's fair game.
There you go. Check this out, guys. I'm going to share my screen. I'm just working on something pretty fun. This is coming up on Saturday. Can you all see my screen?
You betcha.
Check this thing out. So we start at 5:30 a.m. This is a fundraiser that we're doing for the children in Anguilla for some computers for the schools that haven't been able to get computers since the schools were opened. So we start on this eastern tip here at 5:30 a.m. on Saturday. There's 3 people running it. Myself, Matt Barfoot, who's a marathoner, and Justin Sodden, who's been training for a year. And we're running the whole southern coast in the rocks all the way across this whole island. Like 22.6 miles on the south coast. How cool is that?
That is awesome. That's like a marathon.
Yeah.
Just about just shy, right? Just shy of it.
26 miles, I think, a marathon.
I think so, 26. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But you said on rocks?
Oh,
yeah, it's on like literally the sea rocks. Like, check this out. Here, I'll go to the east tip here. I just did this east tip for a training session. This is where I just was coming back from, Dylan. Right here, check this stuff out. Like, look at this stuff.
That's rough.
It's crazy, man.
It's not pavement.
And if you're not in rocks, you're in sand, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is the sand right here. Yeah, exactly. And if you've got to do the coastline. Like, so yeah, this is quite a hill up here, about 300 feet above sea level. And we'll start right on the east tip. It's called Tip to Tip, but it's fun, man.
I'll be in the boat with the megaphone. Go, go.
Don't give up. You got this.
Let's get things started, guys. Let's rock and roll.
Me and Matthias with the cerveza.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Let's get this thing going. I know a lot of people will not be coming in just because Thanksgiving, right? And it's a fantastic time to be thankful for all the great things that we have and express gratitude. And I'm thankful for our team. I know we work hard on ourselves and serving, and I think servant leadership's a pretty awesome thing when you're able to do that. It's special. So grateful to be on here, and for all of you that are not here, I'm sure you'll be watching the recording and picking up on the round table that we're going to share here tonight. And Mr. Carmichael, fantastic that you're here, man. What's happening on your side? What's going on?
I'm still doing putting stuff together. I did a business plan for myself, and I'm just trying to align my ducks and jump into it in December. Next month I promised that I would actually start making decisions and getting more of the input from with Dylan and make some decisions. So
cool. Congrats, man. Well, we look forward to working with you on that. There's a really cool opportunity right now as it relates to a lot of the stats and the intent that we're seeing around the pavement industry as a whole. We're seeing like search intent rising for asphalt maintenance and repairs, which is an important takeaway. Like a lot of paving companies, when you think of and this is something that I think is super important to think about the national accounts that are not fresh new companies and new builds that have kind of built out over the last 5 or 10 years. Think about like YMCAs, think about like the 20, 30-year-old properties that are needing servicing at a level where they're tighter on budget they need to keep their pavement, liability free, and they need to keep it preserved and maintained. So I think there's some really cool opportunities that are available to us if we're prospecting properly. So that's one of the things I think that a lot of people just they forget about, and they just go canvassing. That's the kind of the wording. I'm going to go canvas, and
Right.
canvas is like, I'm going to hop in my truck. I'm going to go canvas an area and look for the opportunities that are in front of me. And I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just saying it would be cool to do it tactically and really go after the ones that you've already done some research and homework about.
Well, I'm paying a lot of attention to commercial properties and looking to see who has had seal coating, and recently you can tell, about how many years it's been, and you can tell those that haven't been taking care of it at all. And yeah, but good, I hadn't thought about the YMCA's and stuff. I'm looking at funeral homes and all kinds of different properties. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, they're out there, man. They're out there for
And
sure.
and you the stuff you've got online is very helpful in me coming up so far with the presentation, what I need to be comfortable saying, and the stuff that I need to know about what I'm talking about with the different types of asphalt, the different types of sealers, and the different, I got to go in there knowing my shit, and you've got a lot of good information. So it's a matter of me not only just having it on paper, but being able to speak it like you do, rolling off the tongue. So
Yeah.
it's good to listen to you guys.
Yeah, just
There's a
learning the
confidence.
language, right?
The
Confidence.
confidence.
Exactly, yeah.
It comes up with it. Once you feel it here, like once, instead of just all cerebral, it becomes here. It comes out so much more organic, and then it comes true, and it comes from confident place.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know I'm not going to be talking to people that are they'll know what they're talking about, and so will my competitors. So I got to get my game up to A level or A minus at least.
You will, man. Just put in the time, right? Put in the reps. Scott, you're smiling in the background. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What up, bro? How are you?
Making dreams come true, man.
Oh, yeah. It's been a long year of dream making.
How's your Q4 going?
Good. We're still rocking. We just wrapped up a project today. We got a large 6-figure project we start in 2 weeks. So we're rocking hard. We're rocking.
How is if you look at your Q4 this year versus Q4 last year, what would you say your growth has been over last year's Q4 when we met in Dundas?
I would have to look at revenue on that side of Q4 yet. Like, we just looked at I have till October 31st of like real data. I'm waiting till Jan 1 will like the first week of January to like get my actual full close out. But one thing that I can share that is significantly cool is this year we had all of our employees, like some of my my CSR, she's like my oldest standing employee currently, and she has collected revenue in all 4 quarters of the year. So it was really, really cool to see that, right? A business that used to operate 5 months out of the year, I'm now paying 5-6 employees year round, which is really, really neat. So it was cool.
Yeah, you guys have been busy, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely wild too, to see the year-over-year payroll too, like we're roughly like a little over $500,000 of payroll this year. So it was, it was neat to see that, right? Like it's a significant number in my eyes of like, families are getting fed on that, and it's not this little small number anymore. Like there's a significant number of money allocated to, employees. So
what was it last year?
230.
Cool stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. I mean, I've watched it happen. I've been here through since last fall, man. I remember you in the room.
Yeah, it was
You've grown so much, dude. Like you've literally you've morphed so much, man, into a leader and like running a business, like owning a business. Yeah, I've watched it happen. It's really cool. Really, really cool to see.
It was definitely a long, it's pretty incredible when you think back, like, it was what, September of last year, like, so we're not that far off, year and a month, year and some change, but like, it seems like a light year ago, but it seems like yesterday, all in the same sentence, right? There has been so much that has changed, happened, that dynamic, but yet, like, it goes so quick. Like, here we are already in, rolling into December here, and I'm like, oh man, like the year's over. But then on the other hand, I'm like, oh man, the year's about to start again. Like it it doesn't it doesn't stop, and especially staying busy at this time is adds to it.
What do you say your like number one win, if out of all your wins this year, what's the number one win for you with the business?
Number one win. I it's kind of like the saying I keep saying, and I've heard the reframe though, right? Like, more golden BBs, not a silver bullet, right? Same concept. I push that to the team over and over, right? And I've heard it from quite a few different people, right? Like, I had a marketing team, join me this year that did really well, and they're like, "Oh, we doubled the business." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Granted, you played a part, but you did not double my business. Same thing with guys, same thing with everybody. I'm like, listen, all of this stuff, it's been the last couple years of work that has gotten us to this point, and we've just now we're starting to actually establish a really, really good team that has led to the success. So, like, if I would have to contribute, it's hard to contribute to one thing. There is no lightning in the bottle. There is no like, oh wow, this is a miracle. It's just the miracle to me is we have quite a few parts now working in tandem to get to where we are. So that's my takeaway.
It's interesting. I remember asking you the question of the number one thing that was holding you back literally in Dundas. The number one thing that was holding you back. Do you remember what it was?
People.
Yeah.
Now it's leads.
And now you're saying you doubled your payroll.
Yeah. Yep.
And your revenue is growing a smudge.
100%. Yeah. And now
Cool
it's
stuff, dude.
Yeah, it's genuinely leads. Like, it was a really good reframe. I sat on a call with the COO of a very, very large company the other day, and I asked him those questions. It was a 2025 planning, and I asked him those questions, and I said, how do I do this again next year, right? How do I grow 100% next year? And he goes, well, there's a million questions I can ask you, but there's really three questions that it comes down to. Do you have the leads to grow? Do you have the systems in place to recruit, train, and retain employees? And do you have the equipment to do it? And I said, well, it's easy to tell you the things that I do have. I have the equipment and I have the employees, so we have capacity. And he was like, well, sounds to me that you need to double down on, more focus on leads. So that's it for us. Like, constantly hunting and doing the thing. And now it's like really starting to like, let's fuel that marketing budget. Let's fuel the brand. Let's, do everything we did again, just bigger,
What's your pulse on 2025 as it relates to the maintenance and repair industry specifically? What's your pulse so far? Are you booking anything for 2025? Is there just help us understand a pulse?
No, at a higher rate than we ever have. Like, we're pre-booking. Like, I have jobs and jobs. Like, it is an interesting year. Like, we have taken significant, like, either full payments or deposits on tons of jobs. We have a pretty good backlog of just, other stuff that have trickled in. It has been, very, very interesting, and like, on everything, right? Like, maintenance, of course, and a lot of like, capital expenditure too. I think people are looking at things a little bit where like paving was pushed back slightly, and now a lot of people are like, yeah, that paving project, we want to go, we want to do that. So I think there's a lot of just opportunity in that as well. So Yeah, 2025 is going to be good. I mean, like realistic. It's a very, very realistic goal for us to do what we did this year, next year again, like 100%. Like it's very realistic that it's a $4 million year, um, you know, without a doubt.
So when you say 100%, have you grown 100%?
Yeah. Yep.
Congratulations, man.
It was a long year.
Proud of you,
Thank you.
brother. Really proud of you, man.
It was a
Really.
long year.
I mean, you wanted to be at 5 million, from 3 years from that time, right? It was like, I want to be 5 million in 3 years. That's what you
Yep.
said.
Yep. And, I think we'll be at 4 next year,
Let's go, buddy.
it's very, very realistic, I mean, working with quite a few consultants right now, just dialing everything in a little bit. And like the reality of that $4 million is just structure for us. That's it. You know what I mean? Like we have equipment. We're not at capacity with what we have. We're not at capacity with our guys. We're not at, are there times where we're like really, really tapped out for a short period? Yeah.
Sure.
But like when you look at the data, right, like it's data and drama, right? There's times where when you work 3 weekends in a row and you're like, we're working all these weekends, but you look back historically, there was 16
Right.
weekends and we only worked 3. Like, it's those.
Emotional grind.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and it does get taxing, but it's just structuring all that and making sure the hands are speaking to each other cleaner and the data is getting relayed cleaner and, tying everybody into financial KPIs and just, all of that stuff, right? Business structure.
What would be, and I'm just going to pop this in here because I think it's good for everyone to hear this, going through, hyper growth like you are. Anything, by the way, above 40% growth is considered hyper growth. So you've knocked that one clean out of the park. And that's a pretty darn exciting number when you see that kind of growth. And I know you've invested a lot of money buying new equipment, investing into the business, investing into the people. Like this isn't like I'm exiting this year. You're building something of enterprise value. But like, what would you say for 2025? And I maybe haven't put thought into it. What is your number one number? Like, is it leads? Or is it sales qualified leads? Is it quotes? Is it revenue? Is it average ticket? Is it lifetime value? What would you say your 2025 number one number is?
I mean, it's a tricky question. It's a tricky question, right? Because like, of course, like they gotta be. I would say like if we box it down, qualified leads, right? That's our number one number. Our average tickets on point. Our conversion rates on point. Like, you know what I mean? Like some of those things have grown by like 3,000%, right? Like significant growth on especially like average ticket is so much higher, like so much higher.
Right.
We were like 27 something last year, and it was like 3,336% growth on that. So yeah,
I'd urge you to think about one number and maybe think hard about it, put some good thinking time into it. Cost per acquisition.
yeah.
What are your CPA?
And on ad spend it's high right now, but it's relative, you know what I mean? In one place it's super high, in the other place it's super cheap, right? We've landed a $75,000 job this year for $180 CAC, but then we can also get some like mid-sized stuff and I'm paying 500, and it's like this is unattractive in a sense, like, because it just don't make sense when you're like, it's a patch or it's something stupid. It's like, oh, this is a $1,500 patch, it's 30%, like. So, it's that's definitely one thing that we have to dial in on a more precise basis. And that's part of acquiring customers, right? That's part of leads. What leads do I double down on? And those $180 ones, are great. And in the time, like I was spending money on these leads, and I was spending like $1,800 a month. I was getting like 10 leads a month, $180 a lead. We converted a couple jobs out of it, and then there was like, I pulled the plug prematurely. I was like 3 grand deep, and I was like, oh, this sucks, And then all of a sudden, 3 months later, we had a huge swoop of those come back around. I'm like, yeah, I was just getting a little nervous on the buy cycle. Like, I probably should have kept that going, but
but time is of the essence as well, right? So it's like, where do you draw the line before you get too deep and you're like,
yep,
holy shit, I should have stopped that, 3
yep,
months early.
yep, yep,
But you gotta go for it though. I mean, if you're wanting growth, you really have to try things, and you do it in a non-reckless, chaotic way. Do it in a way that's measured. And if you see movement, and you see the leads that are coming in that are qualified leads, you got to work those leads, man. If they're looking good, if they're sounding good, you got to give it the best shot you can.
yep.
Yeah.
That is it. That's our
Cool.
that's our end of year. That's our end of year. One last hurrah. A little bit of material, a little bit of organization and structure, and
then read your P&L, baby.
that's it.
Yeah.
And it's spend money on leads, spend money on marketing, continue doing what we're doing. Just be better.
Build the machine. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Just be better.
Congrats. Thanks, man. Thanks for all the time and info. What questions you guys have? I know that everybody's kind of moving into Thanksgiving here, so it's going to be a quiet night. But any questions for Skylar? Any questions for us at all, guys? I know that we have people off camera as well. We got Tyler, Andrew. Don't be afraid, man. Come on with any questions you have. These are wide open. They're for you guys.
I was wondering where you are. What market?
Central Pennsylvania.
Okay. And you're still working?
Yeah, we're still working. Yeah.
Wow.
We do some maintenance and stuff. Of course, like asphalt work is really what has extended a ton of what we do. So we're still paving and patching currently. Okay. Still some crack filling. We poured some concrete today at a Home Depot, and that was me and Justin did that project, Judd. Yeah, so that was one of his projects.
Justin, sorry, Justin.
Swanson.
Justin.
Asphalt
cool.
Icons. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was cool.
That's fun. And he had because he also has a place. Oh no, it wasn't a place. He has a place in Michigan, I believe, right? Is that right?
Oh yeah, I think he has something up. Yeah, I think he has something up there. But yeah, I know they service up and down the coast, like all of those mobile Home Depot tickets, and he had one finally in our state that was like, it wasn't super far, like hour and 15, and it was a nice like 10K little project. So can't do it.
They just did the Home Depot near me. Not the whole lot, just repaired whatever. And
they love work tickets. That is, I would like, I cautioned to my guys, I was like, this is his game. Like he does a ton of those, just repair tickets, and they love to do that type of stuff. And it was some racking, like they had racking that was falling, and we cut the slab out, demoed the slab, poured concrete back in. They're going to reset the racking and, put it all back together. But we just did the concrete section there. And then, our really big, like, cash producer once everything shuts down is expansion joint stuff for us. That's it. Concrete control joints in warehouses all day long. And
all winter.
Oh yeah. And like, again, you do a warehouse that has 10,000 foot of control joint, and you're, $5 to $7+ a foot. It's $100,000 project, and you just keep cranking.
Generally, anything in the warehouse where you have to work on their schedule, big money, right?
Yep. And like, I took that in the wrong way in the beginning, right? Like I've shifted a lot of focus around of like, what is actually scalable, at a large scale that is very replicatable with the same guys without different skill sets. Because in the beginning, I used to like, really diversify a little bit, and we used to do a little bit more stuff. We used to do, I used to do a lot of epoxy and that type of stuff. And yes, it's great, but like, it's not great when Skylar's on every job to make sure the projects are complete, because it's a different skill set. But you give you give the same guy that's been cutting asphalt all year long and seal coating, a scraper and a caulk gun and a grinder to clean out expansion joints and put tape next to it and caulk it. Like, it's pretty grainless operation that can't get messed up. So
Dylan, did you do any warehouse work when you were up in Canada doing?
Tons. I
Yeah.
used to do lots of epoxy and tons of like safety markings were always big margin. Did some expansion joint stuff as well. And, you know, for us, we had an epoxy crew, so they were used to working with epoxy. So I can certainly, agree with Skylar on the point of, if you're always trying to teach your guys something new, you're going to have problems and mistakes. And because we had that crew that was set up for that, it was a really smooth operation where, I think the barometer there is, do you have to be on site? And, if you don't have to be on site, it's a good profitable service for you.
yeah. I think like even to backtrack a little bit of like, what was my takeaway too? And on this topic, it's that like, if there has been one thing that I've significantly learned and really changed this year is focus. Like, everything does not make me money just because it can produce a ton of cash. It's a different acquisition channel. It's a different this, it's a different that, it's a different skill set. It's a lot of different things. And that for me is like, Black Rocks is our thing, and that's it, right? I don't want to touch, any type of excavating equipment anymore. I don't want to of course, if we're just ripping up the blacktop, we'll rip up the blacktop. All the rest of the stuff, leave it to someone else that does that day in and day out. Like, we don't need to do it. We're really, really good at maintaining asphalt, patching asphalt, and paving. Like, really good.
I got a quick question for you, Skylar, because I know you've more than doubled your payroll this year. So that means new people, that means new efficiencies with your people, and probably a lot of raises. What type of metrics do you look at in terms of like, what are the numbers that your on-site team know and look at and know that they're being held accountable to?
Under 20% gross rev is what I'm looking for production. So, and that's my rule of thumb. And some of that gets higher with benefits, 22.5 to 24 is like our max. We held 17.5 this year. So prospectively, it was, really, really good. But that's the torn out number of like, this is creeping way too high. Something's wrong.
Gotcha. That's a great number, by the way.
Thank you. And what's funny is less employees, significantly higher wages, right? Like, guys make good money, good money, and that's what did it. You know what I mean? Before it was, it was higher.
C players or D players, yeah.
Yep, yeah. Before it was higher percentages, more people, but they made less money, and now it's less people, more money, better percentages.
So you were getting what you were paying for. Now that you're paying for the 8 players, you're getting 8 player agreements, eh?
That's it.
It's amazing when you have the business machine and you have the right people that are plugged into it. It's amazing what starts to happen with the business. It's not rocket science, right? And I think, for all of the people that are just starting out, you can either go and wing it, as the old saying goes, or you actually learn the systems that you need in order to have the backbone of your business. A lot of people go out and they're like, well, I'm going to buy a 4-inch roller and a paint bucket, and they stay there for 3 months and they go through the first portion of the season, and they could have scaled and ramped more quickly. There's actually a message in here from someone who posted a question. It says iPhone, so I'm not sure your name, but you're more than welcome to come on, man. We're here to help. It says happy holidays to us all. I think I'm leaning for an 850 liner. Is that good? I heard there's a lot of issues, or will it bust sooner than expected? I'm like, man, always go bigger sooner if you can, but if you can't and you need to just get started, you can definitely get started that way. It's a similar question. If you have like a McDonald's parking lot to do, or a storage facility parking lot to do, and you don't have the money to go and buy a big air operated rig and so on, and you need to get going, use it as a stepping stone. Just don't stay there for long, man. Straight up, don't stay there for long. And maybe you can find a sub in your local area that you can sub in to do a project. But the PL 850, just to be clear, I've striped multiple lots with the PL 850. Clients buy it all the time. We sold 400 of them last year. And we haven't had a lot of shit happen to us, so to speak, with those units, but I wouldn't go and stripe them all. You know, restaurant, small motel. I mean, I know Dylan, you've got a lot of experience with stripers.
I'd say the 850 is good for anything under 100 lines. I think the other thing you got to be aware of with the 850, it's primarily a water-based paint machine. It doesn't pump oil well, or acetone as it is in the industry now. But 850 is a great machine to get you going. I mean, when you think that, you know, even on a small lot, you're probably not going out for less than, you know, $400, $500. You know, it pays for itself in 10 jobs. And that's assuming that they're really small jobs. So great stepping stone machine. That's how I describe it.
Yep. Stepping stone. Get going, get some jobs closed, get them done and scale, man. Like, they reinvest in your business. I can tell you, you can throw the money at crypto, or you can throw it at NVIDIA, or you can throw it wherever you want. But frankly, I'm a big believer in investing into your business. It's the best spot you could do it. You control it. Not a bunch of people that you have no idea, and it will fluctuate dramatically. Yeah. Invest in yourself, invest in your business, invest in your people.
If you find you can read charts, then maybe NVIDIA or cryptos for you. But if you can read construction drawings, I think asphalt maintenance is great for you.
Yeah. What's happening, Tyler?
Hi, Judd.
Haven't seen you in a dog's age, man.
Yeah. Well, I tend to be one of those people that watches or listens to all of these on podcasts afterwards. Usually Wednesday afternoons at this time, I am typically out working still, but winter is officially hit, and I am dead as a doornail for a while. So probably be on here in person more often. But yeah, I love listening to these on the road in the car, and you know, some education while I'm driving.
I guess is it starting to snow where you are now?
We had snow a few days ago, but it's gone. It's just cold, you know, freezing or a few degrees below. So
Remind me, you're in Kamloops?
yep, you got her.
Right.
I heard I heard a gal on a recent one here. I think she was in Kelowna, and you were pretty excited about her upstart. Does that sound right? There's somebody in Kelowna that.
Yeah, Reka.
Okay, yeah, because I know your close buddy is in Kelowna there, so I guess she'd be probably working with him maybe a little bit.
Hopefully they can get some jobs going. Braden Hamilton with Orca
Braden.
Asphalt, and yeah, hopefully they can get some stuff going and really. I mean, he's growing. I don't want to say a number, but I mean, we'll just say he's doing roads now, and massive parking lots and pickleball construction, 4-court constructions, 5-court constructions, private home construction for all their tennis courts. He's just absolutely crushed it. And I met Braden, it would have been 2018, I met Braden. So that's in 6 years, he's taken his company from low 6 figures to multiple millions. Yeah. And I believe Braden is now, I think he's 34. 35.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a superstar, man. He's got a beautiful family. He's got such great values. He is such a cool human. If you guys aren't following him, you should check him out on Instagram and Facebook, he's pretty active. Orca, ORCA, Asphalt Maintenance, out of Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. He's done such a beautiful job with his business and his life. He's just superhuman. Yeah, great guy.
I'm looking forward very much to. I've been bugging Lee quite a bit lately. I don't know if he's said anything. Probably not. He's a busy guy, but I've been really bugging him about that hot box that's possibly coming out maybe next year. And
Recycler.
I'm hoping I'll be first on the list because I've been asking him about that thing since the spring of this past year. So
Yeah, there'll be some fun stuff coming up. For those of you that end up at PaveX, there'll be some cool stuff that you'll get to hear about and see, and some fun stuff. PaveX in Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's on the 28th of January. You guys, you may want to invest into that trip. Whoever's on here, it's going to be a good one. And PaveX is not paying me to say that, but it's going to be a good show. But yeah, Tyler, there'll be a big announcement when that goes out for sure. We're excited. We need it, man.
me
You
too.
need to be able to get pallets of fresh virgin asphalt that you can put into a recycler oven that will heat it up, drop it through a grill skirt, and then you can shovel it out right into your wheelbarrow and use fresh hot mix in the middle of the winter if you wanted to. Yeah.
All right, that's enough talk. I was already super excited. You're getting me too wound up here now. I'm waiting all year for that thing to come out.
I know, man. I know. Well, we can keep you and I will both be messaging Lee in the background. When are we getting this thing going here?
I want to be the one taking it home from the expo and chat.
Right. Right on. Cool, man. It's good to see you on. I'm glad to see you look awesome, man.
You too. Thanks.
Good energy. Yeah.
If you're ever down in West Side, there, just stop by the first house on the left-hand side, just after the golf course. That's my brother's place there with the old Italian house with the arches in the front.
I'll tell him
Ross,
Rawson Contracting. Yeah, just let him know you know Matthias.
I was just there a week ago.
I graduated in
works.
Clearwater, went to Cam High, John Peterson, Sahali.
That's how it works. All the Saskatchewans and Albertans, we all moved to the Okanagan, right?
Chad Keeping, what's happening, man? How you doing? Yeah, you good? Glad.
Yeah, I'm good, buddy.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, if anybody wants to ask any questions, now's the time to do it. Otherwise, we're going to end up ending the round table earlier than usual, unless there's some shares. Matthias, go ahead, man. Carve it.
Yeah, I just want to, being Thanksgiving tomorrow for everyone in the U.S. at least, I just wanted to put out my thankful list. Number one, my family. That includes my Asphalt Kingdom family. That includes all you guys here too, by the way. But I love what we do for each and every one of the people we interact with on a regular basis. And my goal for this coming year is just to be 1% better every single day, adding up. I know that Skylar's not on anymore, but he doubled his business. I want to double my efficiency and helpfulness for this next coming year. So reach out anytime. Love to be part of the team. And yeah, thankful for every one of you guys. Thanks.
Thankful for you, Matthias. You're a superstar, man.
Me too. Matthias and me have been closing some deals over the last couple of weeks. I'm thankful for you, brother.
Hey, Judd.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tomorrow will be the first day for the new sales guy that I might have on board with my company.
Congratulations.
He's gonna go see if he can crush a deal. It's a $19,000 deal, small one, but we'll see what he does and see what happens. So hopefully he does well and succeeds, and then just jumps on board, and I got that all covered.
If you need an A-player agreement for the salesperson that you're hiring, if you want a template for that, please don't hesitate. Reach out. We're happy to help you with that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, we've got some cool A-player agreements with some key critical drivers they should focus on that Also keeps them pointed at their KPIs. So some of those things are, well, not some of those things. They're very important for a salesperson so that they're out there working and driving the result that you'd like, but most importantly, what they're able to achieve for their life. Because if you can help somebody achieve their dreams and at the same time help you achieve yours, then you've won, Chad. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thankful too, Matthias. Dylan, I'm everyone on here, man. I'm really, really thankful. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm overwhelmed with joy as it relates to truly what we've created as a community. It's really, really cool that we've done this in the asphalt industry, man, because it doesn't happen a lot in the blue collar world. And it's a lot of fun to just disrupt that and change that mentality of hard, tough, just go out there, work hard, and come home with calloused hands to the microwave dinner and your kids in bed and your wife sleeping, whatever it is. I think it's okay to feel happy and proud and loved and like actually have a sense of community. That's something really, really special. And we have, we're hosting one of our personal and business building retreats that's coming up. People are starting to fly in on Friday down here in Anguilla at our place. And we've got 14 people coming in for it. And that'll be for 1 week. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm super passionate about. I'm passionate about the roundtables, the retreats. I'm passionate about the roundup events, any of the expos that we do when we create content. But what I'm most passionate about truly is developing stuff that matters for the community. Like, I want you guys to be providing as much feedback as you possibly can where we're falling short, where we can improve. It's not all butterflies and cupcakes, man. Like, I don't want you guys to hold back with us at all. I'm dealing with a challenge this evening regarding a large order that's we're as a team, we're dealing with that. And Dylan and Matthias, you both know what we're talking about, but it's like, this is, $50,000 deal and we promised some timelines and we're falling short on it, but falling short on those timelines as it relates to an Airbus 750 that's getting delivered. A sub needs to go in to do the work, and we're standing up tall, and we're going to make sure that we're not leaving our client in a spot where he's taking the brunt of it. We have to follow through with supporting as a partner of our client. And so I want you guys to all know that, man, like we're here with you along that path. So don't hesitate, reach out to us. We want to build relationships for life, not just one transaction. We want to literally develop these relationships for life. Genuinely, that's what we care about. So we appreciate the opportunity, and anything at all, you can reach out to any one of us and we're here to help you, no matter what it is. Any final touches from anyone? Well, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Go eat some turkey, some food, and enjoy your families and your friends as well. Be safe, please, and we'll see you guys next week. Actually, I won't be on the roundtable next week, guys. I will not be there next week. Matthias, are you going to host it next week? Are you going to do it, buddy?
I can.
Yeah.
I definitely can. You know me, I'm always up for a challenge.
We'll get a coach on and we'll get you on, Matthias, and
yeah.
let's we can't miss a week. So because of the retreat we're hosting, I'm gonna be hosting an event on Wednesday night. But you guys next week, I know you'll see each other here, same time, same place, right here on the AK Roundtable, everyone, and I'll see you the following week. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Thank you so much, and again, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, everyone.